Good morning, guys, and welcome into my kitchen. Today, we are going to be making a wonderful dish today, and it actually has 3 parts to it, but all 3 parts are easy, and they're going to end up in one pot, and it's going to be one amazing meal. So let's get started because it is kind of long. First of all, we're going to be making stuffed shells with pumpkin and chorizo. So stuffed shells, I feel like is kind of like a dish of the past. A lot of restaurants don't even serve stuffed shells anymore. Once in a while we'll do it as a special, but most of all now it's just like the money cut and stuff. So stuffed shells, I remember just, from childhood and from a long time giving it to my children. But when I had to find these shells this week, it was kind of hard. I went to like 4 different stores, so I don't know. I'm glad I found them anyway. So I see a bunch of people already, and I just want to say hello and thank you guys for joining me. Okay, so let's get started on the very first step. Like I said, it's 3 steps to this: stuffed shells with pumpkin and chorizo. So we're going to get going. We're going to saute up the chorizo. We're going to brown it up. And I have like a big Dutch oven here, if you guys can see it. So this way, when we're done with this, everything's going back in here, and we're going to put it back in the oven to cook it. So this is just one of those iron ones that you have, like that are coated, enamel coated, and they work well on top of the stove and in the oven. So we've got that heating up here now. So I'm going to brown the chorizo, and I picked chorizo because I was thinking about spicy sausage at first, but I didn't want it really to be overpowering for the pumpkin, and the chorizo just has that nice spice to it. It's like a warming spice because it's got like a little bit of chili powder in it and garlic powder and the peppers. So I thought it was a perfect combination with the pumpkin. So we're just browning this up right now in this pan. I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay. And then, like I said, this is the first part of it. So we're going to brown the chorizo up. And I just put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here because it pretty much already has its own grease in it. You can see these white bits in it, in any type of pork like this, that's fat. So it will help it cook really easily. And plus, like a non-stick pan like this is perfect for it. So we're just browning up our chorizo, and we're kind of breaking it up because we're going to also add this to the filling that we're going to be making. So while this is browning, I'm going to cut up an onion, and I just have like half of an onion. That's all we needed. Hi, Carrie. How are you? Your cookbook is going out tomorrow. I'm so excited. We got the last of them in. We've been selling them like crazy at the restaurant and on Amazon. But some of you that had ordered it through me, I just wanted to let you know that the last bit of them are going to be shipped out tomorrow. So if you're still waiting for one, don't fret, it's coming. I'm really excited about it. We had a wine dinner last night at the restaurant, and so many people came in and asked for the cookbooks. I almost sold out again. So my best advice is, if you live here near the restaurant, is to get it off of Amazon, because it'll directly ship right to you, and then you don't have to worry about like taking a trip into traffic or anything. But of course, we would love to see you at the restaurant as well. So I saw Carrie that just reminded me that hers is going out tomorrow. Hi, Linda. How are you? You are up in my neck of the woods, up in Orange County, New York. And speaking of that, I see my beautiful niece online. How are you, Lovey? And I see, hello, John, my bro there. I could just keep saying hi to everybody today because I'm super excited you guys are with me. Okay, so this chorizo is browning up very nicely. And don't be concerned because it gives off like an orange kind of like sauce to it in here. We're going to take this out for a minute and we're going to drain it down. And then we're going to add our onions and stuff in here. I'm trying to do everything together here so that we can get this all cooked and show you guys really how simple it is. I know I said it has 3 parts, but it doesn't mean that they're hard parts. So I've got my onion all ready to go in, and as soon as this is done, we're going to take it out, put it on a paper plate. Hi Tim, how are you? Denise, please tell Hugo happy birthday from me. My girl Pam. Pam, I miss you, man. You got to get to the restaurant. No excuses. Okay, so while this is cooking, I went ahead already and I cooked up the shells, and I drained them off, and they're waiting in a strainer right here. So these are the shells that we're going to be using, and they're all cooked. They're cooked like halfway through, and we're going to be stuffing these. See, these are a little bit tinier than what I remember. It was weird. I really couldn't find the big shells. So hi Lisa, how are you? And Tina. Pamela, I was just talking about you. I was just saying last night a lot of people took the cookbook from the wine dinner, so I was happy. Okay, so these are the shells. I went ahead and I cooked them already, so you may want to go ahead and do that prior. Have your shells like all cooked up. I'm going to turn this down. It's really cooking. Okay, so our chorizo is all browned up already. It doesn't take long. And I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put it in with a slotted spoon here, and I'm going to put it on a plate with a paper towel. And take this out. And the next thing, we're going to add the onions directly to this pan, because these onions are going to pick up all the flavoring from the chorizo. All right, so now, boy, that was loud, wasn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my onions in this same pan, and we're going to start browning them. All right, and they're going to pick up all the little bits on the bottom. And we're just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. There we go. We're going to season those, and salt always makes your onions sweat, so which in turn makes them cook a little faster. So while those are sauteing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on our filling for the shells. So just in a large mixing bowl, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in some, I left it right in here because I got it from the store, whole milk ricotta cheese. Let me see. Hi guys, Barry, Nicole, Don, hello, we haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Okay, so I'm putting in my ricotta. I'm going to put in the whole thing because I'm going to make a lot of shells here. But the recipe is going to be posted on the website, or on my video right after. Okay. Mixing this up just a little. Bless me. Oh my goodness, that pepper went right up my nose. Laura, Larissa, how are you guys? I'm so glad to see everybody today. Okay, I got my ricotta in a bowl. Next, we're going to put in an egg, because we bind it all together with an egg. Everybody knows you make lasagna and all that kind of stuff. You add an egg. And then to this, we're going to add a little bit of pesto, store-bought pesto, not a big deal. We're going to add 2 tablespoons here, and that's going to give it really yummy flavor. We're going to mix this around. Alrighty, I mean, it'd be perfect just like this, but we're not done. We're going to add that pumpkin in there, guys. Okay, we're going to add a tiny bit of nutmeg in here, about a half a teaspoon or so. We're still going to keep a watch on our onions as they're softening up. I should also tell you guys that I have my oven preheated to 375. Okay, and the last thing we're going to put in here now is some pumpkin. And this is just a 15-ounce can, so we're going to use half. And then we're going to save the other half for the bechamel that we're going to make. Okay, there we go. We're mixing this all up. It's already such a delicious filling. Okay, and to this filling now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the chorizo in there. So we can put that all in. It goes in there. And now we've got the chorizo into the pumpkin filling. And it just looks like a regular filling that you do stuffed shells with. Okay, so we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna go back to this onions here, softening up. And now that they're pretty much almost done, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic to it. You could do 1 clove or you could do 1 teaspoon of this minced garlic here. And it cooks really fast, so you know that's why you want the onions. You put it on top of the onions and it acts like a bed. I'm trying to see. Me too, Mary. I love pumpkin. Alice, you got your cookbook today. I'm so happy. This is not in there though, but I'm so happy. Okay, we're gonna make a bechamel. And a bechamel sauce is made up of 3 components: butter, flour, and milk. And what it's used for in Italian cooking is any kind of dish that's called like nel forno, which means in the oven. So if you're making lasagna or stuffed shells, manicotti, anything like that, it gets covered in a bechamel sauce. So I've got my butter in here and it's melting down. To it, I'm adding a little bit of flour. 1, 2, probably 3. And flour is raw. You know, it took me a long time of, like, I think I learned that in culinary. I never knew that flour was raw. And it has to be cooked, and it has a totally different flavor after it is cooked. All right, so we've got this here. It just needs to be cooked like for a minute or so. Not a big deal. Meanwhile, we're scraping all the nice bits off the bottom of this pan, and it's going to also flavor the bechamel. So now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour some milk in here. I've got 2 cups, but like I said, this is like a kind of a scaled down one. Once I finish the video, I will put the entire thing up for you guys. So now we want this bechamel to get a little bit thick. Not really thick, just a little bit thick. And we're going to use this actually as the sauce for our shells. No marinara, no Alfredo. We're going to use this. So hello, Karen. I'm trying to see if I can say hi to some people. Rebecca, how are you? All right, so this is up and it's going. To this now, in a classic bechamel, you always add a little bit of nutmeg for that warmth flavor. I mean, this has a lot of warmth already from everything, you know, from the chorizo and the pumpkin and the basil. So we're gonna add a little pepper in here and a little salt to flavor that, because we have to flavor each step as we go. So now we are letting this thicken, because that's, like I said, gonna be our sauce. While it's thickening, I want to add to this, which I forgot, a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano. I keep mine wrapped a little bit because I don't like it to get dry. And I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a cup in here. And if you ever just grate fresh parm, it smells like heaven. I think that's one of my second favorite smells besides basil. And babies and coffee. You know, I guess I like a lot of things. Okay, my bechamel, if you could see it here, it is boiling away. So I'm just going to turn it down and let it continue to thicken in here. And while that's going, we're going to start to stuff our shells. All right, so let me get some shells here. I've already got them. I'm just gonna sit them here. Now, you can go ahead, you can use a spoon, and you can put them right in here. You can't really use a piping bag with this because of the chorizo. And I'm gonna go ahead and place them right in my pan with the bechamel, because that's, like I said, gonna be our sauce. And you just keep going around. You can place them and say you have, okay, if I do one whole layer and I have a lot left and I want to still fill them, just go on top. It's not a big deal. We're gonna fill this pot with shells of goodness today. Alrighty, and so just keep filling them, just keep adding them right into here. There we go. There's no rhyme or reason how. If you can see, I'm like kind of layering them here. Wish I had a better camera angle, but my husband this morning got home at like 5:45, and that's when the day started for us. He works a night shift. He got up, of course the animals got up. They wanted to go out. They wanted to eat. So I got up. Then my son gets up for work. So morning in the French house starts very early. So he went to bed today. It's also our anniversary, but 3 years for us. But we'll celebrate it. We'll celebrate it another day. Okay, so you understand how this goes now. We're going to continue to fill the shells. And then once they're done, we're going to take a little bit of, if you have shredded mozz, you could put the shredded mozz on top. Or you could use fontina. This is fontina cheese. It's my favorite. It's like a really, really good melting cheese, Italian melting cheese. So you could just, what I did yesterday was I just placed the fontina on top of the shells. And when it went in the oven, it melted so beautifully. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like. Of course I have one for you guys. Okay. So I have half of a pan here because my son ate the other half for dinner last night. So anyway, this was the shells all nice and melted with the cheese and that pumpkin sauce with the chorizo. So I'm going to take one out if I can get one out here. Let's see. And show you how they are. And they are, look how nice this is. I mean, guys, look at this. Look at this cheese pull. This is fontina. This is what fontina cheese does. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, so I'm going to just put one out on here. I smell it. The first thing I smell is like the chorizo. But did you see my little steam pot going right here, guys? I have not stopped with the steam pot for, I don't know, since I got it. And I've just been putting different things in it. And I love it because I find that different herbs are like opening up my nose and my sinuses and stuff. So, okay. So we've got our shell. We've got this luscious gooey cheese here. It's still pulling. And I've got some chorizo here. I can tell you guys it's delicious. Very hot. But the sauce inside is like almost like velvet. And it has the pumpkin taste, but also with the ricotta, and then with the chorizo it just is a different flavor, so it's really good with it. Guys, this is a great fall dish. I know it took 3 parts, but it turns into one great meal. So I thank you guys for coming into my kitchen today. I always get my lunch with you guys afterwards. So I sit and I put the recipe on and I eat what I make. So then I got my coffee here, but I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Sharon, hi Sharon and Tracy. Sharon, congratulations on Tara's wedding. It's definitely made me hungry. Anything to me that goes in the oven and has cheese like this is worth making. It's a great dish. I know it's a little time consuming stuffing the shells, but it's worth it. It's the fall time. You can make it even for Thanksgiving if you didn't want to be traditional and have a turkey. So good, guys. All right, get yourself a can of pumpkin and make this dinner. And I am going to go outside and go see Peppy. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.